Hey everyone, this is Michael Johnson. I'm just giving you guys an update on how everything went at Lucas Oil Raceway. That was all last week, and it was during the month of May, which still is May, but it was a big week last week, and we had a lot of ups and downs, and we I learned a lot, and especially working with my team, my team owner, John, working with Barry, the data engineer, everybody that was just part of what I was doing was working. We were having some trouble on the chassis setup, and to be perfectly honest, I was still having an issue on the oval as well, going flat, basically without braking, and that was kind of an issue for me, the way the hand controls are. We were really working with putting different springs on the steering column so that when I'd have resistance going in the corner, I could be able to push on the steering wheel without it moving in on me. Because on road courses, that's how I brake. So it was moving on me when I was turning basically. So that meant I was braking, and it would make the rear end loose, and it'd make it very unstable, and it didn't feel very well. And so we had testing all day on Friday, and it went all right. The first practice, it was a 45-minute practice, and we had all right times. I was still off a little bit, but I think I ended up like P13 in times, so it wasn't bad. So we went out in the second round. That was later in the afternoon. It was probably halfway through the session. We were having some issues with the rear end, and I'm working with the steering shaft and getting everything set up so that it was feeling comfortable for me. And I ended up spinning it, and I put it into the wall. So that put me back the rest of the day, and we actually didn't get out until first official practice Saturday morning. So we had a lot to learn, and I went over the data, and I looked what I did wrong, and I was braking just a little bit still, and we were thinking that's kind of what caused it without me realizing I was braking, with me just pushing on the wheel. So we added a couple more springs to make it even tougher for me to push in on it when I had to brake if something was going to happen. But it felt a lot better to me, and I actually got my confidence back up in the second practice on Saturday, and my times are right there. I wasn't braking. I was really trying to force myself not to, and then I just got used to not pushing in on the wheel because it was natural to me. So we got that all figured, and I was feeling really comfortable. And we were still having issues with the rear end being loose, and then it was pushing. Where I was getting confused on my communication, talking with the crew guys and my mechanic, because everything feels different to me, especially on this oval, because you're just turning left, and the communication that I was trying to give is a little bit different than what other people would say, because they can feel everything through the lower part of their legs, up their butt, and through the steering wheel. And with me doing everything and holding myself, I'm just losing a little bit. So I really need to work on my communication skills and relaying it back to everybody so we can get all the issues I was having addressed sooner than what we did. And I think there was still a lot more left in the car, and me to be able to get up to the front where the leaders were running. During qualifying, it went all right. I ended up qualifying P18, so it was decent, I guess. But it was the fastest I ever run there. So I guess it was a plus for me, but I still needed about a half a second really to get up where the top 10 was at. And I think I could have done it. It just we weren't on the right page for the setup. And then was me feeling comfortable. And then we went on to the race. The race was at 7:40 Saturday night, and it was good. I got a pretty decent start. The whole line in front of me was slowed up from the start. They just didn't get going very well in the front row. So that kind of it pushed me back a little bit, and I lost a few positions. But I battled my way back, and I got a few positions back, and was really just running my own race. And I ran the whole race without any hiccup, any big mistakes, which I'm glad I got to do this year, because last year that never happened. We made it like 5 laps, and half the field was taken out. So I was glad I was able to get a whole race under my belt, and I got to feel what the car did at the end of the race. And it was phenomenal at the end. I was getting really good the last 10, 15 laps, and I was running with the leaders that were lapping me, and I was matching their times, and it was starting to come in really well for me. So I'm glad that I was able to show what I had at the end of the race, and I felt a little bit more comfortable than I had the entire week we were there. Um, but I'm assuming that there's a lot more left in the car, and we just need to keep plugging along, especially with my communication and everything. I'm hoping that it'll improve as the season goes on. And I'm starting with a new coach starting in Toronto, and just to help work on my communication and help work on my driving skills. And he's actually going to drive my car with the hand controls when we test in a couple of weeks, and he's going to feel what it feels like. So when I'm talking to him, he understands what I'm saying, and we can be on a better communication level when I'm speaking to him. And same thing, he knows what to do, and he can help me figure out what I need to improve on. So I'm really excited with what everything turned out to be. We had a really good week before that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we all had media days at the Speedway and autograph sessions, and it was just a lot of fun. I was really excited to be in Indy. It's the month of May, so being at the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway is awesome. I love it there, so I can't wait to improve. Come back next year. I'll be in the Pro Mazda and really just improve on what I did Saturday night and try and make it happen. And I know that's going to be a lot quicker in that car, and maybe a lot of things are different, but at least I have a whole run under my belt, and it felt good. I didn't crash in the race, and there wasn't any caution or anything. And to make it even better during the race, it was actually sprinkling really hard on us, and that made it a little slick, I thought, and especially going into coming out at turn two. But it was good, and everybody was happy. My parents, team, and even including me. I mean, coming back from the pretty big crash I had on Friday, and I was still a little bit uncomfortable on Saturday, and getting it back going for qualifying in the race was huge for me. And working with this coach hopefully can help me get my confidence back up a little bit and get my head in the right place when it comes to race day. And I'm excited for what all is to come, and we have a little bit of a break until July when we go to Toronto. So I'm gonna keep testing and have a bunch of sponsor events and just keep seeing people. The Grand Prix of Detroit at Belle Isle is this weekend, and I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna just say hi to people, watch it, and soak in everything I can about IndyCar and just racing and enjoying it, and hang out with friends and spend with the media days there, and keep working on meeting new people and having a blast. And so I just want to give you guys an update on everything that happened. I'd just like to thank everybody that was involved in helping me out, my parents, my team, John Church, Lewis, everybody that was working on the car and helped get it put back together from that crash that pretty much destroyed the whole left side of the car. Thank you so much. And everybody supporting me, Speedy Cath, Coloplast, Alpine Stars, Bell, my parents, Universal Coating, everybody at the racetrack. This really is like believing in me and really watching what I'm doing. And I know it's been a little rocky from even last year, and I haven't got that best of positions when I'm driving. And believe me, I know what I got to do. It's actually really tough this year. There's a lot of competition, and I'm driving way better than I did last year. But I just need to step it up, and I'm working on it. And with the controls that we have in this car, it's really been a challenge, and a good challenge, but it's been tough. So I'm really improving, and it's just race by race. I think it's been getting better, and the more people I have in front of me and that's seeing what I'm doing, I think will help out. So I'll have to update you guys when we test in the middle of June, and I'll talk to you then. See ya.